Hello guys, in this particular video we shall be looking into Django authentication. So we are going to be focusing on login and logout forms here. So let's get started. So let's work on the login. So as you can see here, my virtual environment is active. So I am going to put this one down. Let's now create the view. So on my app, I'm going to go to the view, and I already have imported login and logout. So what I am going to do now is to create a function that we handle the login, and it's going to just take request. Now this method is one of the best method. um I'm not going to do any logic here because I'm going to be using the default Django authentication. So what I am going to be doing here is just to return render, pass your request, and then the HTML, which is going to be login.html, and the name, or rather let's leave it this way. So this is basically what I will be doing. Then for the logout, I will do the same thing for the logout. I'll do the same thing for the logout. I'll call it logout. And we can go to the URLs. I am just going to copy this because I don't have the time to type. But for you, the more you type, the more you are getting used to it. So login, and this is going to be views.login, and this place is going to be login. This is, I think I am having some issue. Okay, that's because I didn't include the comma. All right, so I'll do the same thing for the logout. So this one is going to be log out, and this place is going to be views.logout, and the name is going to be log out. Now I am going to do something which is just one of the secrets that Django has given to me. And what is that? I am going to just include this, what we call the Django auth, or the Django authentication, because if you go to the settings.py on my project, if you come to the settings.py, you're going to see that we have django.contrib.auth. So I'm going to be making use of this django.contrib.auth. Sorry. You see how I will be making use of it now in a jiffy. So I am going to come here, or basically just come down here, and I am going to add from django.contrib.auth.views because I want to import the authentication views. Then I am importing the login view and the logout view. So these are the two views that I am importing now. So I am going to modify what I have here to send us to the login view instead of sending us like this. I want to use this login view to return the login and the logout. All right, so here I still maintain the login URL, but then I am no longer rendering that views.py, which is this one, because I am now making use of the login view as the template login for the HTML. And I'll do the same thing for the logout. So there is so many ways that we can do this. I'll show you something. Let's run this server, python manage.py run server. Let's see something. All right, we can go here. Let's go to the /login. You can see there is no template for the login. So the login has been handled, but there is no template for us to be able to render that login. Let's just add something that is not in existence, like account. Now, if you look at this place, you are going to see all the URLs that exist in the current uh, website, in our website. Now, if you want to bring in the default Django authentication templates, we can use this /account. So, and if you can see that we are on the account /login, and it is not showing us anything because we moved the login to be on its own URL instead of having these accounts. We just moved it here, and that's why you can see it is showing us template does not exist. So let's work on the template. Let's fix this error. So to do that, what we are going to do is I will leave the first video I did on login page on this video. If you look at the top here, you are going to see that video. So if you are interested in learning so many other ways to do login, you can actually follow this video. All right, so on the app, which is my account, I'll go to templates, then I'll go to templates and create login.html, and I am going to just basically put in some certain things. So let's just call this one login, and I am going to just put up some certain things. H1, say login here, and on the this thing, we're going to have form, and it's going to be a post method. We can actually render. Okay, let's bring this CSRF token, CSRF underscore token. So always make sure you have this, because In fact, Django is not going to allow you to render a form without this CSRF token, because this protects you or protects your users from cross-site request forgery. So we can render the form here. So let's render the form here. All right, I can actually close this server with Control C and arrow up to visit the last command and rerun my server. So the essence of rerunning this server is to make sure that every changes has been noticed by Django. So let's go back, refresh, and we can see this form. Now we can do as much things to make this form look a little bit nicer by actually going to the form on the HTML. Maybe we can render it form dot as p. So this form dot as p is just to render this form as paragraph tag, just like we have here in the registration page. So if we should refresh this, you can see they now give themselves spaces. And if we just go to inspect and we look into this form, you can see that this form has this paragraph, and this is for the username, and this is another paragraph for the password. You can see that it has an ID of paragraph and input type of paragraph, password. So that's just it. So this is all for the login. So let's look into having our logout. So for the login, we have handled that, but let's actually try to see if we can log in. I don't know, I can't still remember the username we actually used on the previous video. So let's just do something here. Let's go to this DB SQLite and see the auth users. And from here, I can see that I created a username of Emeka, and I still remember the password. So let's go back to this and try to log in with Emeka. And you can see we don't have any button. So let's create a button so that we can be able to submit this. So let's use input, sorry, input type of submit, and this is going to be login. And that's all. Let's rerun this and we can have login. So let's put in the Emeka again. And we can click on the login, and it says to call this URL via post, but the URL doesn't end in slash. I think there is an issue. So I am going to remove this form method because at this point I don't actually need it. So let's rerun this. Let's begin it afresh and move to login page slash login, and let's have Emeka again, and then let's have the password Okay, so we can see it is taking us to account/profile, and this is because it is taking us to the account page. It is actually taking us to the account page. Let me show you something. So let's just visit these accounts. You will see it says it does not exist. And this is if I want to have everything from the auth, I will just add this. In fact, let me not move into so many things at the same time so that you don't get confused. But this is actually logged in. So this is just how we can do our login. We can actually redirect the login to our own preferred pages instead of sending us to the profile page, which we don't actually have here. We can actually make it return to the preferred page. So how do we do that? We just need to specify it on the settings.py that we want the default account page or login to send us to this so page. So let's do that. So let's go to settings.py, and we're going to put in this thing. Let me just, you can just put it anywhere, but let me just put it just below this static directory. So we are basically setting the login redirect URL to home, and then the logout redirect URL to the login, because we actually want whoever that is logging out to be sent to the login page, and that is all. We can actually do something. We can quit this server and rerun it again, and we can go back to this. Let's see. Um, let's see again, and let's check the login. Let's try it again, Emeka, and let's log in. Now you can see the login is taking us to the home page. Now let's see if our logout is working. So we can use /logout for that. So this page is not working. Let's see what the error could be. So it says get logout 405L. So method not allowed. So we are going to look into it and see what the issue could be. So since I'm having issue with this method on this one, I can just remove it and use this one, which is going to make me to also import include. Now, the reason why I'm importing include is because I want to include the django.contrib.auth.urls, which if you go to the settings.py, we have the app already created for us by Django. So if you go to the list of the installed apps, you will see django.contrib.auth. So Django has created anything authentication like login, logout, registration, forget password, reset password, everything. Django has created that. So I actually want to make use of the authentication that was created by Django. So that's why I have to use this and include it. So I can actually, if I want to access the logout now, let's quit this server and rerun it back. and then let's go to the this thing. So this does not exist, but if I go to slash accounts, you are going to see that the login template does not exist. It is showing us that this login template does not exist. So, and what I actually want to do now is to move everything into this particular template, into this one. So I'm going to be moving everything into the Django contrib.auth. So here I am going to also remove this. Then I am going to use path and then register login, because this is for the login, and this is going to, sorry, I am not going to be creating all this thing again. I am not actually going to be creating it. So I am going to remove this account so that I don't have to move into accounts to do anything. And let's see if I can access the login again. So it still says template does not say, and this is because we need to go to these templates and create a folder called registrations. And inside of this registration, I am going to be moving the login page into it. And I think this will solve the issue. Now watch something. Immediately I added this thing, this particular part. If you go back to your URLs and put maybe something that does not exist, so that you can see the URLs, the list of all the URLs that you have, what you will get is that you have a login, and you have logout, and you have change password, reset password, and all these things. So these are all the URLs that was created from that django.auth.contrib.auth. So we are just seeing this because I want you to understand what I am actually doing. So for us to be able to use this default authentication, we can use login as. There are so many ways we can do it. If you go to the Django documentation on that, you will see where all these things are coming from. So this is it. And these are going to be created for you. And maybe you want to use your own template, then this is what you are going to be having. Something like this. So if I should copy this, for now and come back here and maybe go down here and paste this, I also need to make sure that I import this thing, the auth view. So to import it, if you come to the documentation, you see something from here. You see where they said that you should make sure that you import this. So let's copy this, take it here, and go to the top, maybe here, paste. Oh, sorry, we made a mistake. So let's undo. We did not actually copy what we want to copy. So let's make sure we copy it and We can paste it here. And this is to enable us to be able to move it, render the actual template that we want. So for this, I am going to make it the login, and I am going to change this one to login.html. So um, it's in the registrations slash login.html, because this is found on the registrations directory, and this is going to be um, login view. So it's basically the same thing. We are still returning the login view. But if you are going to be encountering any issue using this method, please make use of the first method. It will still work for you. So let's rerun the server and let's come back and see if the login page is working. It is still saying template does not exist. I think there will be some maybe typo. So the typo I feel here is on the registrations. It's supposed to be registration instead of registrations. So having done this, let's check it back. So everything is now working. So let's see if we can still log in. And yes, we can still log in. So let's see if our logout is going to work. So before we do for that logout, we should also do this same thing for the logout. So let's just copy this, copy and paste it here. And instead of having login, we are going to be having log out. And this is not going to be returning anything. It's just going to return it's just going to be returning this wait so we are just going to be returning logout, and even if we don't add this, we still will return the logout because we still have this. So let's not bother ourselves with that. So let's append logout slash log out. Yeah, the page isn't working. The same thing. So I think the logout is working. Maybe there are some issues that we still need to fix. So the logout should be working. Let's see it from the default Django admin. So let's see admin slash admin, and you can see it is saying login. You are authenticated as a maker. So we are already logged in, but are not authorized to access this page. Would you like to log in to a different account? So this is recognizing that we are still logged in. So that actually entails that our logout is not functional. So let's see if so one major reason why our logout is not functional is because we are actually passing this URL as a get method, and that's not a secured method. And that's why we are having this server telling us that we are using get. You can see it here, and using the get method, and we are not allowed to use that. So we actually need to do something to see how to solve this. Okay, so since this is giving us problem with the get method, so what we do is we can go to this registrations folder and create logout.html, and we can put in these things. Let me remove this and have my HTML. You can see I'm still doing everything from scratch. So we can put up this. So this basically is a form with a post method, and it is taking us to logout page with this CSRF token and then a button to submit for the logout. All right, so if I should refresh now, let's see if my server has refreshed. So let me close it up and rerun the server again, and we can see what we will have on this. So let's see. Now this page is still not working, so we can actually do something. It is still going to the get method, so we need to tell Django that we now have a form for that. All right, guys, I was able to resolve that issue. So I created this part, manual logout. I did everything manually instead of using the default authentication, although it's still the default authentication at the end of the day is one I'll still be using. So, but I just created this manual logout, and I went to my view, and I created this thing, something like this, and I am redirecting to the home, sorry, to the login, and that's all I did. Also, I imported this one, which is the logout from the django.contrib.auth. So, and let's test it out. I hope this solves everything. So let's log in now, Emeka, and we can log in, and it takes us to the home page. So let's pass in the manual logout, and it takes us to the login. So we're able to achieve this. So guys, please give a thumb up and subscribe to this channel. In my next video, I'll be showing you how to do a reset password and send out mails, a reset password link to the mail of your users so that they can click on the reset password link on their emails and reset their password, then log in. So I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you ask me any question that you did not understand. Use the comment section to ask. I'll see you in the next video.